What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Just kind of give a little update on things. I was out most of last year, had both my knees replaced, so I was a little slow getting some videos out. But we're back at it this year. I've got a few trips planned. We have just finished up going back to Oklahoma for some white bass. That video will be coming up here in the next few days. Other than that, yeah, I'm glad to be back in the outdoors. We've had quite a interesting year with everything that was going on, and there's been some changes in life, and I guess that happens as you get older and kind of realize some of the stuff you thought you used to want to do isn't quite what you do anymore, maybe something like that. So anyway, you'll probably notice that the Gladiator's gone. Got rid of it. We decided to start doing some more traveling, and we'll be doing some RVing and some camping and stuff, and we're decided that the Gladiator wasn't the right platform for what we have decided to pursue. So Gladiator's gone. Have a Ram 2500 now. Just waiting on a camper shell for it so I can do some just camping out of the back of the truck and stuff when I get to certain places. We will be getting an RV that we'll be doing some traveling around the country in, and now that we can film in national forest, we hope to bring a lot more people along with that journey. Be able to show some stuff around America maybe some people don't get a chance to see, or if they want to see, have an idea before they go, yeah, you know, you may be able to get some ideas of where you want to go, what you want to do, and what you want to see. So just brewed up this Vietnamese coffee. It's actually a really good coffee. Didn't bring a whole lot of stuff with me today. I just out here kind of looking around. I may change the GoPro over to my chest mount and walk down here to the river. Got a new rod and reel. Kind of wanted to give a few casts on it. I took it with me last week, and my other rod, we was catching them so fast I didn't have time to use two. So it was a good day. It was a long day. Another one where we left out at 4 o'clock in the morning, but we was actually back a little bit earlier this time. We got back home around 6, so it was a long day, but we ended up with around 100 fish out of that one. So that video will be coming up, like I said. And yeah, so I'm gonna let you go for the minute, get hooked up, and we'll walk down to the river and we'll see how that looks. So I haven't been down to this little spot in quite a while. Water's running pretty good. It's a little lower in the eddies than what I remember it being the last time I was down here. But we are down from Bennett Springs, and so if anybody's ever been down on the Niangua, it's a good fishing river. Does have has several springs that put in to it there at Bennett, and so it's really cold water. Of course, Bennett has a trout hatchery. And of course they keep trout put in here, and but there's also some really good smallmouth, goggle eye, if I'd had a little more time today, I might have brought my kayak and put in up here and just paddled back up this eddy and then floated my way back, and seen if I could have caught anything that way. But with the way the weather's been, man, it's like the nicest day we've had in a while. With the wind ain't been blowing 40 and 50 mile an hour. We had some really bad weather move through here last weekend, and we had several tornadoes that came through, and but several people had a lot of damage. Luckily, I didn't have any. I had a lot of wind and hail damage. A lot of people lost quite a bit, the tornadoes that came through. And of course, we've been having a lot of issues with fires too, so we're still pretty dry most places. That's one reason why the river looks as low as what it is. But it's that time of year for Missouri anyway, for storms, tornadoes. I'd like to give a little shout out to Willoughby Custom Rods for the job they did on this new rod I got. Really good job. If anybody wants a custom rod made, you can get a hold of Aaron at A to Z Bait and Tackle there in Richland. ain't gonna be too long. It'll be start getting warm enough to start just take off and wading down through here. Still a little chilly right now for that. At least for me it is anyway. Anyway, today was just kind of a get out of the house, film a little bit, kind of let everybody know what's been going on and why there hasn't been any videos for a while. But hopefully we'll be getting quite a few more back out this year. And we've got a lot of trips coming up. We'll be going to of course, we'll be going back to Oklahoma several times. We got a couple of catfishing trips planned for up there, so we'll be going up there and just camping out. And then plan is we'll be heading to Kentucky over Memorial Day, or Memorial Weekend anyway. We're going to do some kayaking up there and some of the caves and stuff. And then we'll be taking a trip to Maine in August, and that'll be several days of stealth camping along the way. Find a few places to sit back and go. Yeah, I'd like to have brought my kayak, just floated all the way back up through there as far as I could paddle and then float back. I'll have to do that here another week or so. It's starting to get warm enough by then that it don't feel quite as bad. This river here, like I said, it's spring fed, so it stays cold year round. So feels real good when you're down here and it's 100 degrees because the water's still cold. Hopefully, now that I have 2 bionic knees, getting around in some of these places will be a lot easier. I won't be dragging a leg behind me trying to walk. So, I mean, it's been like night and day since I had it done. Wish I'd done it a long time ago, but you know, you hear everybody say that, but I didn't really believe it until I got it done. So This is one of them rivers that the upper part of it. Now, from Bennett, a couple of the campgrounds down here, kind of hard to get in and fish it on the weekends because there's so many people down here floating it. Pretty big hangout, college hangout and stuff on the weekends. And I've seen it to where you could almost just walk across the boats and never get in the water. But sure is nice to get down here during the week and stuff when there ain't a whole lot going on. That's usually when I'll put in my kayak and float to get any fishing done anyway. Well, slow bite today. We're early, so other than the way trout season runs around here, they're March 1st opens it. And they set that off with the big horn there at Bennett Springs that you can hear for several miles when the season opens on them. And of course there's the new adventure rig. Like I said, I've got a camper shell for it that'll be done being built next weekend and painted and everything. So hopefully here in about a week we'll get it put on. And I have already added a deck system to it, so that way, with that in there, all of my camping gear is pretty much already in it and stays in it all the time. So that way I'm pretty much ready to go at a moment's notice. So I want to thank you all for coming along on this short little venture today. Just kind of let you know what's all going on and what's coming up, and should be some good times ahead. So with that, I'll let you go, and don't forget, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next adventure.